Diablo has added a ton of new exclusive collaborations, and yes, some do contain exclusive in-game items. We also have to briefly talk about the review embargo video I did yesterday, as we have some new details around that. We have some quick updates to the D4 planner map that I'll talk about. We have some new PvP details that people aren't really discussing or going over. We got a lot to talk about. What's up, world? It's here back in another video, and today we're checking out all things Diablo 4. Okay, so first up, let's just talk about the exclusive item stuff, because there is quite a lot here for the cosmetics and in-game items, as well as these exclusive collaborations that are happening. Essentially, we're at like Fortnite levels of collaboration. There is so much going on. So SteelSeries actually finally dropped their collaboration with Diablo 4, and it is a bunch of gaming gear, including some PC stuff. I'll just go over the items very quickly and then tell you which ones include the in-game cosmetic, also the cheapest and best option for you at the moment. So first up, we do have the Arctic Nova 7 wireless headset. We have the Aerox 5 wireless mouse. We have the QCK Heavy XXL mouse pad. We have an Artisan keycap. We have Diablo 4 thumbsticks and the thumbsticks collector's edition. And the thumbsticks are tied to the consoles editions, of course, for the controllers. Now, they do have both the Xbox and PlayStation compatible. Now, the regular version of the thumbsticks didn't include the cosmetics, but the collector's edition actually does include the in-game cosmetic, which is an in-game mount trophy called Bound Faith. However, both the Xbox and PlayStation models seem to be out of stock. Now, again, I'm going to have all the links to like all the products down below, so you can kind of just go to them quickly. They do have a notify list here, but I doubt if these ever come back in stock, as these were actually legit the cheapest item that you could have bought at the moment, or at least when this series launched. Now, these sold out basically instantly, as the news came out like a half an hour ago. And yeah, they're already gone. So now we do have that mouse pad, but it looks like the mouse pad doesn't actually come with the in-game cosmetic as far as I'm seeing. And that's $50. That's quite expensive to not get the in-game cosmetic, and weird that the $29 option did. Now, the mouse and the headset do come with the in-game cosmetic, as at least I would hope so, because the mouse is $150 and the headset is $200, so I would hope that the cosmetics would come with those both, but they do, and those are both still in stock, of course. But now we have that keycap, which is actually $70. Now, there's only 2,160 of these being made, but the other issue is that the $70 keycap doesn't include the in-game cosmetic either. So the only options are the wireless headset and the wireless mouse, and then those thumbsticks for the collector's edition that are sold out already. Which is odd that they would have something catering toward a controller and a console player, and the PC options are just $150 or $200, and they don't have any option for us, including the keycap that doesn't even include it. It is a rough year to be a PC gamer, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so seemingly only those three items will include this in-game mount cosmetic. Though if you're in that meme subreddit, the ATC trophy, then yeah, you're probably not going to be using the Bound Faith trophy, you're going to be using the one from Ashava. Now, we do have to talk about the PvP stuff going on. There's been a lot of people who have been confusing the HP stuff. Essentially, because of how much damage your player character outputs, people are realizing that you can do much more damage than the actual player character's HP. And so how would this work in PvP? But there actually is a stat prevention, or at least something to reduce that. So PvP actually has something called PvP damage reduction, and it's scaled at 93%. So you'll inherit damage reduction against other players in PvP, and it will stack with all other damage reduction sources. So yeah, you're going to have 93% damage reduction when you're fighting in PvP. So essentially, those numbers that you're seeing are going to be much less, or at least 93% less, or even more, depending on how much damage reduction the other player or yourself has. So yeah, that'll make up for it, and that will kind of get the PvP scene at least somewhat seemingly more balanced. So you probably won't see as many people, or at least maybe anybody at all, one-shotting each other. Although definitely a possibility with some of the broken builds that probably aren't balanced quite yet, or at least found out about. People will probably find something like a one-shot macro build. I guess we'll have to wait and see on all that. We do have one more collaboration to talk about, but seemingly, as far as I can tell so far, there is no in-game cosmetic tied to it. But that is the Secret Lab Diablo 4 Collector's Edition. Essentially the Secret Lab chair. They actually do have two different options, and the color scheme on both of them are pretty cool. But yeah, it seems like Diablo at this point is just at Fortnite levels of collaboration, and they're just kind of throwing everything that they can. And honestly, it's kind of hard to blame them, because this game really is seemingly going to be huge. I mean, Diablo 3 was the fastest selling PC game, so Diablo 4 probably might be close to that metric again, or maybe even more so. Now, we do actually have some more information around the review embargo drop date here. Maybe take this one with a grain of salt though, but it is some nice updated information. And so a Reddit user by the name Kazdum said that his friend is a game journalist and is playing the game right now. There are 2 NDAs in place for what they call more superficial non-spoilers he will be able to share on the 30th. And he said for the full game, then it's the 2nd. However, because he said June 2nd, I'm thinking he means June 1st for US and maybe May 29th for the US as well. The reason being is because in Europe the game is launching in June 2nd, but for US the game is launching June 1st. So it wouldn't make sense for a game journalist to be posting stuff on June 2nd when the game has already come out on June 1st, at least in the US time. So coordinating that together, maybe he means May 29th, but we do also have people still pointing out that it could still happen on the 26th. This could be an IGN Redfall situation where they're able to showcase gameplay and talk about the game before the review embargo drops. Maybe we'll just be seeing stuff, or people are allowed to talk about more things on the 26th, and then the actual review embargo date will be either the 30th, the 29th, or 31st. I also do believe as of earlier we did get that one new trailer of the 2. There was a few new cutscenes near the end there that kind of added a few things for context, so maybe go ahead and check that out. Pretty decent trailer. I am curious on what the second one will be, and so I'll try to make an updated comment if that does drop anytime soon. We also do have a few answers here from Joe Pipora about some stagger mechanic stuff. The one on Twitter asked, do bosses have stagger cap or do they build resistance to being staggered somehow? Thinking about viability of damage chilled / frozen in boss fights. And Joe answered here, it does get tougher to stagger bosses repeatedly. That's what I was wondering as well, especially with my ice build, which I have a pretty good stagger build out there, which by the way, I will have a full starter guide and build guide closer to launch, probably on June 1st, so be sure to look out for that video. That way if there's any changes announced or anything happening, I'll have everything set in stone for the day of launch. Blizzard also seemingly just gave a press tour. We have a tweet here from Joe Pipora saying first day back in the office after the press tour, so obviously I'm years behind. We might even be seeing more information coming out from the press tour as well. We'll also have to see if there's any more collaborations, seemingly since there's a new one almost every day. And if there is, I'll either make an updated video on it like this to kind of explain things to you guys, or I'll just leave an updated comment down below. Also just an update on the Xbox pre-order charge situation. It looks like people actually are being charged for the Microsoft pre-orders today. So if you did pre-order Diablo 4, just look out for that. You're probably going to be charged sometime soon. I'm also curious on what classes you guys are going to play. I'm trying to run a poll, but YouTube has been a little bit rough lately with that. I haven't been able to get a community poll out there, but I should have it out within the next few days. But that does about cover for today's video. If you'd like, and subscribe, and until the next one. Deuce.